Okay. Sweet.
Are you ready? Yeah! All right, here we go. Everybody, get on up and do your stuff. You better get up. Take the rub off the floor. We're gonna groove right here a little bit more. Do your stuff. Don't be so rough, but you got to be tough when you do your stuff.
Very good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the Carlton Cornwall Bowling Club, the Auckland Bowls live stream of the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub Sevens Auckland Women's Final. We've got the Carlton Cornwall Gold team taking on the Royal Oak Premiers, and we're bringing you the live coverage of the fours side of this. Of course, we'll have singles and pairs action to decipher the winner, but we're giving you the fours action, and we break in the second end here. The first end, a one was scored by the Carlton Gold team. So end two here, and Ashley Jeffcoat playing number two for the Carlton Cornwall Gold side. She's about to deliver her first bowl on the second end. Down two nice bowls. First ended Ashley, and here's her first for the second end. To break into the head now. Slide on by, about a metre past. So Robin Fisher now to a bowl for Royal Oak. The Rima Strickland skipped Royal Oak Premiers. Aaron White filling in for Kevin Hickland. Kevin just celebrating his wife's birthday today. He'll be along very shortly, though, to join us in commentary and take us through the rest of the women's final and then into the men's final. The semi-finals are being played alongside us on Rink B here at the Carlton Cornwall Bowling Club. It's a lovely day here in the city of Sales, and the Greens playing well. Was out there playing in the quarterfinals up against the other Point Chev team. Game it was. Here's Ashley's second bowl. Just going to slide past there Kimberly Hemingway's bowl, and I think Kimberly's holding the shot there too with the green speckled bowl. About a half a metre short of the mat there. Short of the jack. So here's Robin Fisher to play her second. Playing down the forehand side, coming towards our commentary position here at the Carlton Cornwall Bowling Club, bowling away from Alexandra Park. It's going to be a wee bit narrow. Get on to Kimberly's bowl though, and lovely bowl too. Turns Kimberly's bowl out and sits about a bowl low of the jack there, and that's the outright shot. They will have brought in the Samandal bowl too to the, as we look at the left of the jack there too, so could be two holding here for the Royal Oak Premiers. So down to the skips as they head off to the mat. Rima Strickland for the Royal Oak Premiers. It'll be Karen de Jong to deliver first after they picked up the one on the first end. So you're joining us here in end number two of the fours final for the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub Sevens, the Auckland Women's Final, Division 1 this is. Karen de Jong. She's going to play her forehand side. Delivers now. Well, she gets a lovely arc on her bowls too, does Karen. As you can see here, Ashley really interested in this, trying to sit this Lisa Mandel bowl or just get underneath it. Draws into the head now, and there we go, Karen de Jong. What a lovely bowl that is, and draws the outright shots. So definitely down to the de Jong bowl now, so up to Rima Strickland to rectify the situation. Just asking for a draw bowl in here. So here's Rima's first bowl. She's coming down the backhand side. Just a little bit overweighted draw. She's going to come in on the Fisher bowl and get the Karen de Jong bowl too. Lovely bowl there by Rima Strickland. Just the second end of our Auckland Women's Division 1 finals for the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub Sevens, but if this is anything to go by, we're going to be in for a classic 15 ends, 2.5 hour. In fact, I don't think they'll have a time limit in the final. I don't think we have a time limit in the final. To get that confirmed, Kevin will tell me when he turns up. So Karen de Jong, she'll play her backhand side, and she's coming with a little bit of weight here too, looking to get under those front blue bowls. She's going to be a wee bit wide here. Might get into Ashley's bowl wide. Did, but it's just turned in the bowl of Sandra Taylor there, so that could give 2 now to Royal Oak. It does, as we see it indicated there. So just asking for another draw into the head for Rima Strickland here. She'll come through on her forehand side as she bowls towards our commentary position here at the Carlton Cornwall Bowling Club. Not too many clouds in the sky. The greens have been running beautifully this morning, and will only get better throughout the day as we take you through the women's final. Of course, the men's final around about 3 o'clock this afternoon. So looks like that'll be a 2 to the Royal Oak Premiers. So they'll take a 2-1 lead now after the 2 ends here in the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub Sevens Auckland Women's Division 1 finals. We do have the singles being played. Philly Akaruru for the Royal Oak Premiers against Linda Ralph, Carlton Cornwall, and the pairs are Jackie Broderston leading Kirsty Hill for Royal Oak, and Lisa Prideaux leading for Karen Hema for the Carlton Cornwall side there. So we'll try and keep you up to date with what's happening with those as well. Looks like in the singles, in the early stages here, it looks like Akaruru's leading Ralph 2-1 in the singles, and just looking across to the pair, it's 3-1 after 2 ends there to the Karen Hema skipped side for Carlton Cornwall. Right, let's get back into our game and look at that beautiful first bowl from Sandra Taylor there. Touch up. So Bev Crow, she sends down her first on the backhand side for Bev. She's going to finish up a good couple of metres, if not 2.5 metres, just past the head here. Not in a bad spot considering where the first bowl of Sandra Taylor's is. Sandra sends her second bowl down now, looking for that same line of the first and starting to break into the head. She'll finish behind the head here. A bad spot with the second bowl. So 2 nice bowls there from our lead for Royal Oak and Sandra Taylor. Bev Crow again. Play down the backhand side. A tighter line here. She's just going to roll past the head again. Should be that couple of metres past again here. Little Bev. So we move to the 2s. Lisa Mandel first to a bowl here for Royal Oak. And she'll come down on the backhand side here too, will Lisa. This is not going to be too far away either. It's drawing back nicely into the head. Of course, the jack just taken off the centre line there with that first bowl of Sandra Taylor's, and Lisa Mandel's put in a nice bowl, just a couple of bowls low of the jack. Kimberly Hemingway, she's about to play her first on end number 3. She's coming down the backhand side as well. Not a bad line. Going to again draw past the head here. Line was okay there from Kimberly. She's finished up about a metre past the head. Starting to build quite a nice head here for end number 3. Joined us with the Auckland Bowls live stream of the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub Sevens, the Auckland Women's Division 1 finals. Carlton Cornwall Gold taking on the Royal Oak Premiers, and Lisa Mandel's put in another beautiful bowl there. So Royal Oak at this stage holding 3. Here's Kimberly to see if she can cut it down. She's on the draw on the backhand side again. She's played it a little bit narrower. She's starting to draw back into the head nicely. Here is Kimberly. She's not too far away. She'll get into those front bowls and turn onto the jack. Lovely bowl there by Kimberly Hemingway. And that'll give the Carlton Cornwall Gold side the shots. Just sitting to the side of the jack, and now 3 seconds there for the Royal Oak Premiers. So Robin Fisher to play her first bowl. This is N3. Carlton Cornwall scored 1 on the first end, Royal Oak 2 on the second. So here's Robin Fisher with her first bowl. She's just going to be wide of the mark. She has come back to cover the back of the green there. So Karen de Jong just asking Ashley Jeffcoat to draw into that Lisa Mandel bowl about half a mat past the jack. So here's Ashley. She's playing down that forehand side, giving the bowl plenty of time to draw back into the head here too. These Carlton Cornwall greens draw beautifully. Find the right lines. The weight was good from Ashley. Good sighter for her second bowl to come. Robin Fisher now standing up to the mats. So Robin, she'll play down the backhand side again. She's playing with a little bit of weight. She is looking for this Kimberly Hemingway bowl, just sitting to the outside of the jack here, and she's all over it. She's got it. Beautiful bowl here. All bowl and 4 shots to Royal Oak. Lovely bowl from Robin Fisher there to give Royal Oak a big number at this stage. So Karen de Jong now asking Ashley to switch to the backhand and look to get into the mix there and cut this down. So Ashley delivers on her backhand, playing with reaching weights. Be close. She might get onto the front bowl. She does get onto this front bowl, gets a little slide on the jack, but just brings the jack back closer to the Elisa Mandel bowl and Sandra Taylor's bowl there. So good team effort here by Royal Oak with Sandra Taylor, Lisa Mandel, Robin Fisher all holding bowls on the head there to have 3 as the skips come back to play there too. In Division 1 finals for the Auckland Women's Ryman Healthcare National Interclub Sevens. Bring you the live coverage of the 4s side of this. Of course, there is the singles, Philly Akaruru for Royal Oak taking on Linda Ralph. And I can tell you there, Ralph now leads 4-2 over Akaruru. And what's happening over in the pairs? They're just covering the board there for me at this stage. Kirsty Hill and Jackie Broderston, Karen Hema, Lisa Prideaux. Right, Rima Strickland up to the mat now for her first. Holding 4, of course. Rima just with a nice draw. She'll look to maybe place a bowl just short of the head here. Be a nuisance. It's just going to cut across the head. So just short, so about a mat short of the head there. She was looking to come back to maybe cover that jack up. See what Karen de Jong's first bowl is going to be. Ashley Jeffcoat just saying we do have the back bowls here. If she wanted to play with a little bit of overweight, she's going to come down the forehand side, playing with just that couple of metres of overweight here, starting to break into the head, but it's just going to cut narrow. Wasn't too far away, just an extra metre of speed on that. She'll be far away, but they are at least 3 down. Too sure whether that first bowl of Rima Strickland's is a counter. It's short of the head by about a mat and a half, I think. Closest bowls for Carlton Cornwall are Kimberly Hemingway's bowls just behind the head. So here's Rima now. She comes down the forehand side. She'll be looking to just slide underneath her bowl, get into the count here. She's not far away. She might in fact get around her front bowl. Just got into it. It's going to fall in and it's going to be close. So let's see what Ashley says here. She says probably 4 down. So Karen de Jong is going to have to play a cracker here and Try and cut this down. She's taken a little bit more green this time. Weight looks good. She starts to break into this head now. She's going to do something here. She's got something, has she? Oh, just got the Lisa Mandel bowl, but not enough of it. And 3 of them come out of the count there, so it's at least 3. It'll be a met. No, there's 4. So it's going to be a 4. So a 4 for Royal Oak here to take them to 6-1 after the 3 ends. Great team effort there by the Royal Oak side. Each player counting in the head there to give them the 6-1 lead after the 3. We play 15 ends of the 4s. The singles played at 21 and the pairs will play 18 ends. Just looking across at the pairs there. And Kirsty Hill is 5-3 ahead after 4 ends in the pairs. Singles, what are we doing in the singles here? It is 4-3 to Linda Ralph, just over Philly Akaruru. Right, here's the first bowl for us with the 4s, and it is Sandra Taylor starting to break into the head. As you can see, we're on the 2 metre mark here, and lovely opening bowl here by Sandra. She'll finish about a half a mat behind the jack. So Bev Crow delivers her first. She's coming down the forehand side as well. Nice drawing hand, the forehand side here at Carlton Cornwall, coming back to our commentary position away from Alexandra Park. Weight not bad, just the line there with the Bev. So weight perfect. Sandra Taylor. Just the same as the first, the skip will be saying. Rima Strickland, as this one starts to break back into the head. Cut the centre line about a metre away from the jack and end up about a metre past. Bev Crow. Yeah, she's found a much better line here with her second bowl as she comes down the forehand side again. She's not going to be far away here, Bev, as Karen de Jong looks on anxiously to see if it'll run it out. Not quite, about a metre short here for a Bev Crow. So after the lead, Sandra Taylor holds that shot with the bowl about a half a mat behind the jack. Lisa Mandel, she draws on her backhand side. End 4 of the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub 7s 4s. This for the Women's Division 1 finals. Of course, it's a team effort because we've got the singles and the pairs also playing. So you've got to win at least 2 of the 3 games. Nice first bowl there by Lisa Mandel. Just jack high, about a bowl and a half jack high. Kimberly Hemingway, she'll come down her backhand side. She's found a nice line here too, Kimberly, all down to her weight as it starts to draw in nicely. Still starting to run towards the jack now, getting closer and closer. I'd say that's going to be maybe in there for second shot. It'll be now a measure for second, but it does look like the Taylor bowl, the pink bowl just behind the jack, is still going to be your shot bowl here for end number 4. As Lisa Mandel delivers her second, she's coming down the backhand side again here. Looks a wee bit narrow coming to the head. And she'll break through the head about a metre before the jack there, and weight wasn't too bad, just the line. Lovely weight, same weight as her first bowl. So Kimberly, she just needs about half a metre on her first. She delivers down the backhand side, and weight looks a lot better here. Starts to break into the head now, does Kimberly. She's got a lovely bowl here. If she squeezes past her bowl, she has. And stops too for the outright shot. So Kimberly Hemingway gives one to the Carlton Cornwall Gold side. Sitting about a bowl jack high now. So Robin Fisher to play her first on the 4th end. It's women's 4s final. At this stage, Carlton Cornwall leading the singles. They're down by 2 in the pairs, and here's a nice first bowl coming in from Robin. Just slides by though, but it have landed onto the Sandra Taylor bowl and dropped in. It could have been interesting there between Kimberley's bowl. Here's Ashley Jeffcoat to deliver her first down the backhand side. Starts to break into the head now, does Ashley. Well, we're just looking to get around Kimberley's front bowl there. And, oh, if she'd just got around that bowl, she might have been able to land the Taylor bowl, and could have been very good for the Carlton Cornwall side. Rima Strickland now asking Robin Fisher play the similar sort of shot to come around Kimberley Hemingway's front bowl. Here's Robin down the backhand side. Take a nice green down to the weight here. Just having a look. She's going to come through Kimberley's bowl. She does just a little bit, so pushes Kimberley closer. So that's going to be 2 now for Carlton Cornwall. Nice little pocket here and behind for Ashley to maybe draw a third as she comes down the backhand side here now. Take a nice green here as Ashley Jeffcoat. Kevin Hickland's joined us today. Not quite. And a lovely bowl here by Ashley. Get in there and that'll be Carlton Cornwall holding 3. There's the skips about to head down to play their first bowls of the 4th end here. Just looking across at the singles as we wait for our skips to go down to the mats. It's now 4-all in the singles there between Philly Akaruru and Linda Ralph. And across in the pairs, 6-3 now it is to Karen Hemer and Lisa Prideaux, leading. In fact, no, Kirsty Hill and Jackie Broderston at the bottom of the board, so they lead 6-3 over Karen Hemer and Lisa Prideaux. So here are the skips for their bowls for the 4th end. Rima Strickland to bowl first. She'll come down her forehand side. Currently 3 light are the Royal Oak Premiers. As Rima delivers her first. Drawing in quite nicely to the head here too. She's not far away. And gets on to the Kimberley Hemingway bowl. Took the jack back, and that'll be at least 2 now for the Royal Oak Premiers, as Rima's also followed through to be with the Sandra Taylor bowl there. And you can see Ashley says there's a nice channel just on the forehand side to come down, draw in. So Karen De Jong bowls on the forehand side. She's taken nice green. Not far away from this channel here, Karen. Down to her weight. Looks pretty good too as it starts to break in. No, it's just going to be a wee bit short. So a good 2 or 3 metres short there from Karen. So at this stage, holding 2, a Royal Oak. And it'll be a measure for 3, if not 4. That Kimberley Hemingway bowl there just being pointed at by Robin Fisher. That's the closest bowl for Carlton Cornwall. So that's the bowl for Rima to draw by. Should be looking to draw close to the Vandal bowl on the outside there too. So she delivers down the forehand side. This is end 4 of the women's 4s final for the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub 7s. Sort of weight have we got here from Rima Strickland? She's found the channel, but just a wee bit short there. So like at this stage, holding 2. It'll be a measure for 3. So Karen De Jong just asking Ashley Jeffcoat. Ashley says we'll come down and have a look at the head. That's what Karen's going to do. Just the update on the singles, and Philly Akaruru and Linda Ralph it is. They're all square, 4 apiece there, and in the pairs it is the Royal Oak Premiers of Kirsty Hill skipping Jackie Broderston, leading 6-3 over Karen Hema and Lisa Prideaux from the Carlton Cornwall Gold side. So Carlton Cornwall 4, just having a discussion here as to the shot that Karen de Jong will be playing. A few options. Nice channel both sides actually try and draw into this. If she comes down the backhand side, she can look to cut it down that way. She's got a Jeff Cope bowl short as well. She could knock up. So Karen de Jong, pressure bowl here as the Royal Oak Premiers lead 6-1 after 3 ends. Royal Oak picking up a 4 on the previous end. So here's Karen de Jong drawing into the head now. She gets a slide off Kimberley's bowl, couldn't quite do it. Runs into the ditch, so I'll see what Ashley says here. In fact, there was another bowl behind the head that I didn't see there, Sandra Taylor's, so might have been a 3. So we just didn't see that Taylor bowl behind the head there, but let's wait for the scoreboard to be updated here. So it was definitely 2, if not 3. Just watching the board being marked, it was a 3. So it was a 3. 3 to Royal Oak, so they now lead 9-1 after the 4 ends. The Carlton Cornwall Gold team, they've got a lot to do here in this 4s match as Sandra Taylor gets her first bowl away. Comes down the forehand side. Weight's not too bad from Sandra here for the first. Just jack high. Breaks in okay. Too far away from the jack there for Sandra Taylor's first. This is end number 5. 9-1. Royal Oak Premiers lead the Carlton Cornwall Gold side in the 4s. One was scored in the singles there by Philly Akaruru to lead 5-4 over Linda Ralph in the singles, and across in the pair it is now 8-3 Kirsty Hill's team over Karen Hema's team after the 6 ends in the pairs. Sandra Taylor's second bowl coming into the head, as we can see the first there from Bev Crow. Finished up about a metre short, and here comes Sandra's second, and lovely weight again, just slides past the jack to be about half a metre behind the head. Bev Crow comes down the forehand side for her, bowling to the Alexandra Park end of the Carlton Cornwall Bowling Club. Starts to break in now. Come through her own bowl. She does, turns it over, so that'll give her the outright shot now with the front bowl. Measure indicated there by Rima Strickland. Lisa Mandel about to send her first away. She's coming down the backhand side here for end number 5. A little bit tight on the line. Starts to break now. It's going to cross the centre line a good 1.5 to 2 metres short of the jack, but just got onto the bowl there of Bev Crow. Karen just having a look at the head there. Might be a measure between that Crow front bowl and this pink bowl of Sandra Taylor for the outright shot. Just tricky on the angles with our cameras as Kimberley Hemingway sends down her first. She's coming down the backhand side. She's found a nice track out there as it starts to break in. So weight like for Kimberley, it's good as it comes into the head now. Lovely bowl here by Kimberley Hemingway, right next to the jack. Beautiful speed onto the 2 metre mark there, and Kimberley will now have the outright shots. Second bowl down now by Lisa Mandel, comes on her backhand side looking for that Kimberley Hemingway bowl, couldn't quite get it. Very good afternoon to you, Kevin. Great to have you here at the Carlton Cornwall Bowling Club today for this women's finals of the National Interclub Sevens, and the Royal Oak Premiers have got away after the 4 ends. 9-1 they lead.
Yeah, certainly have our own great start by the Royal Oak side, and perfect conditions here at the Carlton Cornwall Club for this, the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub Auckland playoffs, and in the men's as well, the semi-finals are being played up on the other green, where we've got Point Chevalier up against Carlton Cornwall and New Lynn up against Mount Albert. Won their quarter-final matches this morning, and we will update you as well throughout this round of progress scores from those matches as well.
So, just looking at the Point Chev New Lynn game, the singles at this stage is 9-all there, Kevin. Oh, 9-1 it is. Point Chev leading. And the pairs? 7-1 to Point Chev. And the fours there, Point Chev down. So they're up 9-1 too. So Point Chev getting along nicely against New Lynn there. And Mount Albert in the singles are 11-7 against Carlton Cornwall. 7-5 in the pairs and 7-0 in the fours there. So that's the updates coming through from the men's semi-finals being played on Rink B here at the Carlton Cornwall Bowling Club. Robin Fisher's first bowl is going to end up about 3 metres short here. Kimberley holding the shot. That was a lovely bowl too there, Kevin, from Kimberley to get the shot there.
So Ashley Jeffgate, the former New Zealand development player, formerly the Waikato, of course, playing on her backhand, playing full length head up towards the Alexandra Park end here at the Carlton Cornwall Club, and it's going to run short under Jack lower the head by about 1.5 metres, but leaves as this skips change over, leaves the bowl of Kimberley Hemingway as shot, as the Royal Oak side have certainly skipped by the well-performed Rima Strickland, played for Auckland, of course, for a number of years, and of course also played overseas, played internationals as well. And Royal Oak now, of course, a very well-performed club. Their men's combination, though, this morning going down in their quarter-final. And remembering, of course, the winner of this Auckland Interclub will be part of the National Interclub finals, which will be played in Christchurch, and we'll be bringing you that live coverage from Christchurch for those finals when they're played later on in the season. So Strickland trying to play with backhand weight reaching through the head, but just narrow of the line. Karen de Jong, of course, a well-known name in the Auckland scene with her father, Josh, of course, formerly Mission Bay, and now reached the Magic 100 at Pukekohe. Karen, a multiple winner of Auckland titles, and played for Auckland as well in years gone by.
Talking about Auckland, Kevin, of course, tomorrow it's the rep day for seniors and juniors tomorrow. I think the senior men's are out at the Papatoe Club there tomorrow, and I think the women are out at Howick tomorrow, and the juniors across at Milford on the North Shore. So your rep day tomorrow, so a lot of these players that are in action today will be out representing Auckland tomorrow through the quadrangular series there too.
And next weekend, of course, we'll also be bringing you from Wellington. A number of those players, Auckland players, will be at the Inter Centre with the Wilton Club as headquarters. Play gets underway there next Thursday, and we'll be bringing that live coverage in the Saturday afternoon and Sunday. We'll bring you live coverage right throughout from the Wilton Bowling Club in Wellington.
Just on that too, I think those draws are out now too on the New Zealand Bowls website too for that. The big days coming up down there in Wellington.
Yeah, yes they are. It's just a shame all the teams haven't been made available at this point in time. It just adds a bit of interest, but surprising some of the centres yet haven't put their teams forward, as we see Carlton score on the fifth end, a much needed score for the Carlton Cornwall combination. The green here running at around about 16.5, 17 seconds, which it has done continuously right throughout. In fact,
got a good three there,
there was a
Kevin.
three
Yeah.
that they scored.
A good number to try and fight back. Down 4-9.
And of course, Bev Crow leading for Kieran de Jong, former New Zealand title holder, won numerous Auckland titles, won 2 New Zealand titles, 1 New Zealand fours, 1 New Zealand peers.
A lovely start
and
here.
Draws right to the centre line behind the jack. Just sits about 18 inches. What's the lead for the Royal Oak combination? Sandra Taylor. It's going to be, looks as though it's going to come up under the centre line and will do and run away. Jack low under the head by about a metre. And there's no doubt, Aaron, if you take your green on this particular surface here at Carlton Cornwall, you'll get rewarded. If you don't, you'll get punished.
Definitely, I was out in the quarterfinals today, played the fours there, we won the fours, we had to play the other Pirates team from Point Chevalier, they got us in the pairs and the singles, so they're out there fighting for the Point Chev club. But you're right, these greens here, you find that line, you get your rhythm into that line, they'll play you very nicely throughout the day. As Sandra comes down on her forehand side here, and again she's just going to cut that centre line good 2 metres short of the jack and end up where her first bowl is.
Well, the key thing for Royal Oak, you've got a handy lead, but very competent and capable side is this Carlton Cornwall side. Kimberly Hemingway was another former New Zealand age group player who also played for Wellington and also played for Waikato. Very, very well performed player at the national level. And there's another good bowl coming in here from Hemingway, just going to touch and get in, doesn't get inside the short bowl of Sandra Taylor's, needed to get on the inside, not the outside of that bowl. And in the singles, I can tell you that it is all locked up 5-all. That's the game between Carlton Cornwall and and Royal Oak. And in the pairs, it's Royal Oak who are leading. It's Kirsty Hill leading Karen Hema 8 shots to 4 after 7 ends.
Not a bad bowl there, Lisa Mandel. She has come up about a metre short with her first in this fours final. So here is Kimberly with her second. She'll play down the backhand side again. Has narrowed that line up here. Starts to break in nicely now.
They'll just break towards the centre line and sit jack low, but good bowl, I know, but danger of that bowl, of course, jack level bowl, sitting on, always gives opportunity. I'm surprised here that we haven't seen Lisa Mendel change the backhand side now, because there's a 2-bowl rest there on the backhand. You wasn't far away with the first, just need to correct her weight and needs to come back a long way for that weight, and it's going to go past very, very quickly. And it's about playing effective bowls with percentages, really, at this stage. It's Carlton Cornwall definitely lane 2. Ashley Jeffcoat will play on her backhand now and try and...
Yeah, only needs to draw in here too, Kevin, because I've got that back bowl of Bev Crows, so Kimberly can just draw in. I should say Ashley can just draw in. But, she's a wee bit wide, got a wee slide off Kimberly's bowl there.
That could be a generous slide off there, and they do have the deepest bowl right down on the 2 metre mark, which is advantageous to the Carlton Cornwall side. And now Robin Fisher try and play under the jack low bowl. The danger, of course, Aaron, is with the jack low bowl that you try and steer your bowl under the line, under that bowl, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. And you just got to get, if you're going to play that line, you've got to make sure that where your breaking point is on your vision line, because otherwise you're just going to steer the bowl under the jack line, and your bowl will be completely ineffective and finish on the wrong side of the jack. As you watch Ashley Jeffcoat brought a line in with this bowl, brought it in quite substantially. It's got some weight on it, doesn't want to need to get the jack, needs to sit on the bowl clean, and turns it over. That'll make 3 for sure, I would say, although it did roll one of the bowls out of the head. Of course, really now forces the Royal Oak side, one would think, to try and they can actually now draw past that blue bowl, not inside the short blue bowl of Sandra Taylor and Mandel, please. Sorry, and they can get shot. We're going to the percentage shot on the back end for Robin Fisher to endeavour to sit down on the counting bowls. And I can see in the pairs now that it's tightened up after 8 ends. It's now only won the difference, 8-7 now. 8-7 it is Royal Oak leading Carlton Cornwall.
Yeah, and it's now 8-5 in the singles too here, Kevin. So Linda Ralph has taken the lead there over Filiakaruru. 8-5 there. Has seen that bowl come in now of Robin Fisher, and she's landed jack level here, and on the angles that might be close.
So that'd be, I'd back the bowl in behind the jack line.
Bev Crow bowl.
Yeah, I'd jack that blue bowl of Bev Crow's finished jack level, but the angles of course are a wee bit awkward. But of course there's a great opportunity here though for Karen de Jong. Karen de Jong, interesting plays with a big drawing, got a very wide drawing bowl, Karen de Jong. And she can draw down there and just underneath that bowl, get a touch on the jack.
Yeah.
Can make 3 shots of this.
Well, they've got all the bowls out the back, haven't they? Kimberly Hemingway just to the right-hand side as we look. A Bev Crow bowl at the back, and that's Ashley's white bowl just to the other side as well. So a little touch on the jack here can easily make it into a 5.
Only needs a touch. That's with Karen de Jong's bowls. It'll be under the line. The bowls that de Jong plays, it gets under the short bowl, they may make a counter on the draw.
Not a million miles away.
And just slips by. Yeah, the thing here for Rima Strickland, if she does play that backhand, she doesn't want to turn the Robin Fisher bowl. Doesn't want to turn it. Doesn't want to get 2 rolls of it through the head, because if she does, she's 4 down.
Looks like she'll play that percentage side though to come down her backhand side, and maybe look to either sit the Fisher bowl or just get inside the Fisher bowl here.
She's got the bowl out on a very good arc on the draw. Looked good out of the hand. Just depends what that weight's going to be like. It's going to go wide on the outside the head. And here's a big chance for the Carlton Cornwall combination. Touch on the jack here is definitely 5. A touch on the jack on the backhand from Karen de Jong. You'll see her jack level bowl, the blue bowl of Bev Crow's, the green bowl Kimberly Hemingway's. That's a wider line for the Karen de Jong bowl, more in line with how her bowl works. Is it going to come back all the way to the jack? It's running towards it, just going to skip by. It's a great attempt from Karen de Jong.
It wouldn't have been a bad result either, sitting the Fisher bowl there and maybe punching that through as well. So,
well, it was a 2-shot, percentage option
Yep.
there. So Rima Strickland now on her backhand, definitely on a tighter line than her first, that's for sure. And just how tight that line is, looks on a pretty good draw line from here.
Wouldn't want to touch the jack.
And that'll be shot, I would say. You can see it sits there, and that's the shot, all right.
Yep, Ashley pokes it through, so just the one. One to Royal Oak, 10-4 they lead now after 6 ends of the women's 4s side of the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub 7s. Of course, the singles and pairs part of this as well. You've got to win at least 2 of the games to go through to the finals. In the singles, 8-5 it is there. Linda Ralph leading Filiakaruru. They must have had a kill on the previous end, because I see they're just starting, or the board hasn't been updated there, Kevin. And in the pairs, it's very tight still. 8-7 to the Royal Oak team over the Carlton Cornwall team. Royal Oak, of course, skipped by Kirsty Hill. Karen Hema skipping the Carlton Cornwall gold pair.
So it was, the jack was obviously lost by Sandra Taylor, because you see Bev Crow delivering the jack, 3/4 length hit. And the mat is up a fraction, in fact. Taylor playing on her forehand up towards the Alexandra Park end. Perfect conditions here.
Yeah, lovely day in the city of Sales.
Perfect day, just a slight zephyr of a breeze coming in from the west, just a zephyr, nothing really to perfect conditions.
Lovely start there by Taylor, just in behind the head. Now in the singles, it is now 9-5, so a 1 scored there by Linda Ralph, so she leads Philly 9-5 in the singles.
So Bev Crow, not to be outdone, as her bowl, first bowl, just resting behind the jack, just going to go by the Sandra Taylor bowl, but only just goes past. Taylor again will stay on that forehand side. And as we said, men's semi-finals as well underway. Point Chevalier, who were going pretty well in their game and their progress result over Carlton Cornwall. And New Lynn over at Mount Albert, who Mount Albert this year is certainly on the comeback trail as one of the leading Interclub sides in Auckland, and up against New Lynn in their semi-final over on the other green. As you watch this bowler, Bev Crow's breaking towards the head. This looks just not going to have the weight to run all the way to the jack. Certainly on the good line.
Just about a metre short there.
So Lisa Mandel with the blue bowls, backhand, looked good out of the hand, just questioned the weight going by, needs to come back from there. Certainly it was more just a fraction of the line. She was certainly on a perfect line to get to. Yeah, Hemingway, Kimberly Hemingway will follow that. Very, very consistent player is Kimberly Hemingway on the backhand.
A lovely draw bowler, isn't she?
Absolutely she is.
It's breaking in nicely, this one for Kimberly too. She has played this way quite well in the early stages of this game, and she's not far away again. She did. Just a little slide though across to the Royal Oak bowl though. So Sandra Taylor's pink bowl there will hold the shot now. Couple of seconds you'd imagine there now for Carlton Cornwall. Yeah,
the Carlton Cornwall side can attack that a wee bit now with having those two bowls sitting around the jack area. This bowler
breaking in nicely.
It is. This bowler Mendel just
rolls in.
It is.
It is going to roll in,
and it's two. The favourite thing for this for Carlton Cornwall is a natural backhand draw line through those two bowls to either the jack or either one of the two bowls. And of course Kimberly Hemingway was only centimetres away under the line though with this one. Certainly got more weight. Going to hold up a dead line to the jack. Looks
trying to hold up for her. It is. She turned her back on it, clean. Kevin, and usually that means it's a decent bowl and it comes through and they'll get the shot. That back bowl, that was Bev's bowl at the back, so that'll be the shot bowl now, and Kimberly's got a toucher in behind now, so out of the hand. Looking at them in front of us here, Kevin, she turned her back on the bowl. She thought it was narrow.
But she had been fair, and she'd give it another 2 metres of weight from a previous bowl as well, so that narrower line always had a good chance of holding up, which it did. Robin Fisher now is going to follow that backhand line to reach up to the Crow bowl and playing with similar sort of weight to what Kimberly Hemingway played. This is a good attempt here.
Nicely.
Needs to get the gap to the jack. It's going to go close to run through to the jack. Well
unlucky.
Played.
And it's just sat the Crow bowl down too now.
Well, the good thing for Royal Oak on this particular hit, Aaron, is that there's not the opportunity of a big scoring number for Carlton Cornwall, the way the head's set up at this point in time.
Ashley playing down her forehand side with her first into end number 7 here. And she's not a million miles away, just gets into Kimberly's front bowl there.
He needed to just get under the bowl, in fact sat just outside the bowl. And Robin Fisher again playing with a lot more weight this time to try and get the jack clean. Trying to get to the
not
jack
far
neat,
away.
And just a touch away from getting, which would have seen the jack just about go through to the ditch. Now the big thing here for Ashley Jeffco, she just needs to beat the last bowl on the inside on that forehand draw. Certainly had good weight to draw into the head. She can draw into the head and possibly move the jack around the corner a fraction.
Starting to draw nicely for Ashley here. She's under the Kimberley Hemingway bowl and fall over.
Yeah, well,
it'll be a measure for second now.
Oh, Rima Strickland, I would think that would light her eyes up because there's a true backhand ditch sweep shot down through there. Not a lot to look at, Rima. Just get down here on the mat and play it. It's there just to play up through the 2 counting bowls or 1 counting bowl in a measure, and it would run straight through onto the jack, and her bowl would go with it as well.
It certainly would. Right, whilst we wait for Ryman to head to the mat, the updated scores on the men's semis. Point Chev 12-6 in the singles, and the pairs after 9 ends lead 10-2, and the fours after 7 ends lead 9-5. So they're up in all 3 games. Point Chev over New Lynn. Mount Albert in the singles, they are 18-10. In the pairs after 8 ends, they are 8-7. And in the fours after 5 ends, they are down 2-8 Mount Albert. So Carlton Cornwall down in 2 of those games at this stage. Big thanks to our runners.
So Rima Strickland will be very disappointed with that bowl. Played the weight that we were talking about, but was way off target to be fair. And she'd be disappointed with that because sitting from where we're sitting here and looking at the monitor, there's a natural backhand arc up through there under the line.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I had one of those bowls today and played a Rima Strickland bowl just like that. You have that perfect, lovely target to draw into.
Well, the danger is, Aaron, which players tend to do, and I'll give you this word of old advice, is that they tend to look at the head to where they're going to get to the bowl to go, rather than work out where the breaking point is halfway up the green. And that's the key to where your bowl's going to finish. If you take your line at the head, you're going to go where Rima Strickland.
Karen de Jong's found a nice line here, though, Kevin. What's she going to do? Is she going to come in and find the jack?
Needs to get the weight jack around the corner.
Got that bowl of Royal Oaks there. Now, that'll be interesting to see if it's 3. I'd say it's now definitely 2. I think the call was 3.
But to be fair, Aaron, whether it's 1 or 3 or 5, it makes no difference to the shot that you're going to play. There's only one shot on here, and no matter what the count is, and if one's inside the centre line, if you're not going to get the ultimate result, you're certainly going to get reduction. That's for sure. Here, Robin Fisher saying to Rima Strickland, play up. The hesitancy here from Rima, I can't for the life of me understand why, unless you're going to try and play it sweeping through the forehand. Only thing trying to sweep through the forehand, you have got a bowl lower the head there, and at least on the backhand there's absolutely nothing to run into except the target, so to speak.
Yeah, I think Rima really wants to play the forehand here. Robin's desperate to get her to come down the backhand side, but Rima's going to set up for the forehand. So
it's what she can see from the mat and feel comfortable with. The shot's still there on the forehand. It's just a slightly different line to get to the jack.
And here it comes. She might be under the line. She'll need to get under that front bowl.
That's got the jack clean. Well played.
Beautiful bowl.
Just got past the short bowl that was there, and perfect to the jack.
It'll just be the 1 to Royal Oak. Now, what is there, about 1.5 metres, or maybe a metre between the bowl and the jack there in the ditch.
You can see the red marker there just along from the number, and Karen de Jong's put that bowl out. It'll come back, or just how far is it going to come back with the weight? That's the big thing.
Starting to draw away from where the shot bowl is in the ditch there, so lovely bowl by Rima Strickland will get the 1 for Royal Oak to take them to 11-4 now after the 7 ends here of the Women's Fours final of the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub Sevens. Our coverage with the Auckland Bowls live stream. We trust you're enjoying it wherever you are in, around the country today, taking in some wonderful bowling action from the Carlton Cornwall Bowling Club. You'd love to be here because it's a beautiful day in the city of Sales.
Yeah, it just depends on that women's pairs how they've got who's top and who's bottom on the scoreboard there, because
I'm just hoping that we're all on the same
the
same side of the board.
Well, I'm querying it because I'm looking at the singles now as well, because if that's Linda Ralph that's on top, that means they've got Carlton Cornwall on the top of the board. Which we'll just have to wait and see when the boards get changed. So here's Bev Crow bowl, drawing the end after a very good opening bowl from Sandra Taylor, which set Jack level.
Gets around the back there nicely, does Bev, rolls over 2, so you measure for the shot now.
Just sits just down below the 2 metre spot. So here is Sandra Taylor trying to give skip. You're leading 11-4. So if that is correct, as it looks might be now, it is in fact Carlton Cornwall who are leading in the pairs. Well, we can't see the board at present, and leading in the singles as well, although we can't actually see this.
So here's Bev's second bowl starting to come into our head, breaking in nicely here too. It's going to get underneath the Sandra Taylor bowl and end up about 2 bowls low of the jack here. It'll be the outright shot.
So Linda Ralph leading 10-6, 10-6. Linda Ralph leading, and Karen Hemer leading 11-10 over Kirsty Hill.
Karen's come back nicely in that pairs game too.
She's got one of the best leads going around, one of the most consistent players in New Zealand over the last 3 years, Lisa Prideaux.
Yeah, well, she started most of our live streams so far this summer, hasn't she, Lisa?
Yeah, well, of course, won the New Zealand pairs with Val Smith, and beaten semi-finalist last year in Christchurch in the Somerset pairs, and the previous year, of course, again with Val Smith, won the national pairs, also part of the Auckland women's successful side that won the last in December. She was in the North Island side that beat in the North-South fixture. So, one of the in the New Zealand squad, of course, deservedly so.
Kimberly Hemingway's first bowl coming down. If she gets past this Mandel
Needs
bowl,
to get past clean, and she does.
She does. Just slides through the head, rolls over.
Oh, it's a good home there, down by the Bev Crow bowl.
The same path that Rima Strickland's asking Lisa Mandel to come through. Lisa needs to find about 1 metre on her first bowl. She'll come down that backhand side again here. Bowling away from the Alexandra Park complex.
Looks on the wider line, 3/4 of the way down, and it will go by.
It's going to sit on that Taylor bowl wide.
Big shot here for Ashley Jeffcoat. 1 roll on the backhand on the Sandra Taylor bowl. Can very quickly turn this into 4 shots for the Carlton Cornwall side, and no doubt Jeffcoat's looking for that bowl. No question, she's trying to get another bowl into the head. Needs to get past this front blue bowl. Not going to, though. Is just going to.
It is just going to slide by, is it?
Won't get far enough, I wouldn't think. But what it does do, though, Aaron, is it does leave that pink bowl just sitting there. It's a safe shot now to play with weight, because they can't damage their own bowls. It's certainly there for Ashley Jeffcoat to play with weight. And to see in the singles, Linda Ralph has got the mat again, and the board's just changed over and confirming it's Linda Ralph of Carlton Cornwall leading 11-6.
Yeah, Philly Akaruru there for Royal Oak in the singles, and of course the pairs games are Karen Hemer and Lisa Prideaux for Carlton Cornwall up against Kirsty Hill and Jackie Broderston for Royal Oak as that bowl from Fisher comes by. And
right, here's the. And yeah, just heard Karen de Jong indicating to Ashley Jeffcoat to play to the pink bowl, and it's certainly a big opportunity here. 1 bowl on the head.
Yeah, it's building up for a big hit here for Carlton Cornwall. They need a big hit with 11-4 the score after the 7 ends. Ashley's bowl, what's she doing?
Won't have the weight at all. It needs to be. Doesn't matter if she goes in the ditch actually.
Yeah, metre and a bit short.
Yeah, that's it's one of those shots where, as I say,
Needed to be there.
Absolutely. Doesn't matter if you, as I say, doesn't matter if you go in the ditch.
Yep. There was
Because-
good protection with those front bowls as well, as you say. You could have played with that metre of weight over.
Absolutely. You can't hurt your position on the head with the way how the green bowl of Kimberley Hemingway's is faced.
So here's Robin Fisher now on her forehand, and she'll be looking for either the shot bowl or the jack. She's coming down with good weight, starting to break.
Good bowl here from good bowl,
Yeah.
and we'll make shot of it.
Will do too.
Played on that forehand, rolled the bowl through the head, and there's an example there, Aaron, of not playing the shot when the shot was possibility was available. It's all about percentages. It's about effective bowls, and as we see in the women's pairs, it is Royal Oak that have just scored. So we'll be able to give you just to confirm that score correctly.
So Ashley comes down her forehand side this time, and she's going to cross the centre line. She's going to get into her first bowl there. So yeah, blocks up that backhand side now for Karen de Jong. It's still on here for Carlton Cornwall in this head. They've got the 3 back bowls.
11 all now. 11 all in that women's pairs. Just to confirm, it definitely is 11.
And after 11 ends too. So classic over there.
So it's the big thing at this level, Aaron, that when the gates open, you've got to certainly give yourself every opportunity.
Yep.
And as I say, it doesn't matter whether the ball goes in the ditch. You just got to give yourself the opportunity. But the opportunity here with Karen de Jong, of course, if she can play as well, follow that bowl of Robin Fisher's down. If she's fortunate enough to get a touch on the jack, it's all favour.
Quickly makes one down to 4 up.
Absolutely. So Remus Strickland ideally wants to get some cover down towards the Bev Crow, because there's 2 bowls of Bev Crows there and one of Kimberley Hemingway's, and really, if you had 2 feet over the head, it's not a bad spot to be. Even if you don't count, doesn't matter. You're leading 11-4, and it's about protecting the head.
This is end number 8 of our 15 ends, and that bowl of Strickland's is going to come up a good 2 metres short, well, 2.5 metres short. So we know the shot that Karen de Jong needs to play here. She can be a bit narrow and try and get on the Fisher bowl, and if she's not that narrow, she'll get the jack. If she gets the jack, she comes through for 4.
Well, the biggest thing is she's got to be up to the head. Got to be up to the head to have a chance to get to the jack.
Yeah, she's not there, is she?
And that's, that's
Ineffective.
absolutely ineffective. So it gives a chance now for Remus Strickland to protect that head. Oh, short, very short in fact with the first.
Seems to have found a better line here with her second. Weight looks a lot better too.
Certainly has got better weight, and this is where she wants
not
to
be.
be. This is,
Want to touch on the jack. Oh, she's come through the gap.
well, it's still on for Karen de Jong, but
Certainly is.
and my call would be if I was playing 3 for Carlton Cornwall side, playing what, the 9th end, is it? Give yourself at least another yard of weight. Don't try and dead draw it. Dead draw it, you're going to fall short. We're just going to see that.
And quite a way short too, so well off the mark. So waiting for the signal from Ashley Jeffcoat here, whether it's 1 down. She's having a good look. No, 1 down. It was. So another scoring end for Royal Oak there, Kevin. They lead 12-4. We've had the 8 ends now, and Carlton Cornwall have only scored on 2 of the ends thus far. So they're starting to rack up the points here, Royal Oak.
Well, they are, and really disappointing thing so far, what I've seen in this Carlton Cornwall game, is they've had 2 ends where they've had the chance to put the pressure on with some scoring shots, or scoring opportunities, I should say, and they just really haven't taken those opportunities, and you can pay the price for that. And we saw the previous end, a very, very good weighted shot from Remus Strickland.
Well, you pointed it out on the previous end too, Kevin, that the way that head set up, you had to be there.
Yeah.
There's no point in being short.
And that last year coming down this way is exactly the same for Karen de Jong. Exactly the same.
No point in being short, as you say. You know, the worst thing that could have happened in that previous end is Karen come through. She gets the jack different, goes to the back bowl. They're down 1. There's no harm. At least you're there doing something.
When you're behind on the board, you're not going to score when you're short.
Correct. I learned that pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, it's hasn't changed over many years.
No, it's a very simple game that we made to look very difficult sometimes. Sandra Taylor's first bowl away. She's found nice green here for the first. Breaking in well. Might be a toucher here. Not quite. But only about 3 bowls past the jack there. Lovely start by Sandra Taylor. She has been leading very well thus far.
I was just going to remark, Aaron, is that Sandra Taylor is giving the side a very, very good start off the front. You know, her bowls are always coming back to the centre line. She only played, while I've been sitting here, only 2 narrow bowls, and straight away that just gives your team the confidence. Very short bowl here from Bev Crow. Sandra Taylor now needs to come under that short bowl.
Looks like she's going around it.
Looks like got the old fear trick and
it's quite wide.
Karen Hema on the drive in the piers. Obviously Carlton down in the piers to see Hema on the drive. Don't know what the outcome of that was, but certainly we saw some bowls move around and Matt got thrown. Dear. Not what I thought I'd see.
And in the singles, we can tell you Linda Ralph 11-7 over Philly Akaruru there. I think Philly must have picked up a single on the previous end there. And crossing the piers, it is now 12-11. So Karen Hema goes 1 ahead after 12 of their 18 ends in the piers. We're playing 15 ends in our game that we're covering live with this Auckland Bowls live stream of the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub Sevens. A big thanks to our sponsors Ryman. They do a great job for us to be able to present this action to you. As here's this Mandel bowl coming through, just slides past the head.
So the second Bev Crow bowl finished just higher the jack slightly. Is the shot in fact sits about 14 inches higher the jack. And Kimberly Hemingway are now got to start scoring the Carlton Cornwall side. And of course it's under the line.
Yeah, she's going very, very narrow.
It was out of the hand under the line. And of course the other thing now from Carlton Cornwall is, it's not far away, but they've got to start looking at the boards. Because they know they've got to, whoever it is, has to win 2 games to go through. So the fours is looking good for Royal Oak. The pairs is anybody's, and Carlton Cornwall got a 4-point break, 4-shot break in the women's singles. So it's getting to the point where, not far away from the point where the scoreboard is.
Yeah, the pressure comes in, doesn't it? You know, we're on the 9th of 15 for this fours game. There's 8 shots between them, so you start looking at the scoreboard, and unfortunately you get some bowls happening like Kimberly's first, but I'm sure she'll find the line in her second. As here's this Mandel bowl coming in now. It's breaking strongly, trying to find that bowl of Bev Crows, and lovely bowl there. Beautiful bowl.
Sits just inside the Bev Crow bowl, just sits under it by a bowl. You can see it there clearly. Jack on the 2 metre mark, and the blue bowl sitting there of Lisa Mandel's, clearly the shot. On the back end now is Hemingway. Want to improve on what she played with her first bowl.
Yeah, much better green here. Starts to break in. White looks okay too. It's trying very, very hard.
Good attempt here from Kimberly Hemingway. Needs to
Lovely
get a touch
bowl.
on the jack. Does
Lovely
she? Does.
Bowl.
It may. No, still just the one.
So just the one.
Front toucher from the Carlton Cornwall number 2.
Beautiful adjustment as Karen de Jong loses the pen, the coin. Luckily it's not golf.
Yeah, it'd be...
take a couple of shots off.
So, Robin Fisher, of course, has played in the televised Bowls 3-5 event as well as part of the Royal Oak Rockets. Play down on her forehand. Needs to... And looking at that reach to the bowl.
This looks a bit narrow for mine.
Trying to get to that front bowl to get a touch on it for the jack to go back to the Taylor Oh, just gets a touch.
Be handy enough. They haven't lost the bowl. It hasn't gone off the rink there. It's just out of picture shot. It's just down by where Karen de Jong is standing now. So if there is any touch, there we go. We can see that bowl there. So if there's any touch on the Kimberley bowl, the next one coming down from Robin, that's exactly where the jack's going to go now. Ashley Jeffcoat trying to cover that.
On this particular end, it's Royal Oak. Although they're down on the head, they own the back. They own the ditch, so to speak. So
well, as Reema's just pointed out there too, you play with that metre of extra weight, looking for the Lisa Mandel bowl. If she finds the Mandel bowl, it'll draw her in, and if she's just under it, she's on the shot bowl, and the jack's coming back to the last bowl of Robin Fisher there. So
definitely on a wider line than the first bowl.
Looks all right.
It's going to break far enough to get that contact.
Coming back.
And there's that contact we were talking about.
Oh,
and the jack
look at that.
and played absolutely perfectly. As we said, the deepest part of the rink belonged to the Royal Oak combination. Although they were one down, they just needed to get that rest up there.
Could have turned it into 3 there too.
Absolutely, because as I say, the 3 back bowls there's one of Sandra Taylor's, one of Lisa Mandel's, and of course the bowl of Robin Fisher's.
And Ashley's short again.
Yeah, so this becomes a real big end. This is sort of, I'm not going to say crunchy end, but you drop a 3 here. Yes.
Well, a lot of pressure coming on Karen now to try and cut this down, because well, she wouldn't want to leave one close to the ditch, of course, because that gives, of course, Reema the chance just to put that one in the ditch there, holding 3 at this stage. So,
well, really, Ryman doesn't have to leave any shoulders or anything. She's got a metre in that port, to draw, and all that would do. And rightly, she's going to play on that forehand side, to play in through or under the bowls, because that's not going to give Karen de Jong anything at all on the back end except a dead draw to try and get second shot.
So here is Reema playing on the forehand side. She'll look to just cut that centre line and get underneath that bowl of Robin Fisher's.
And she's just doing that right
Beautiful,
now. And it comes underneath, it holds up, that's a counter, draws all the way through, does. Now there's big pressure.
Big pressure coming for Karen now in the singles. Philly Akaruru picked up another single on her previous end. She's down 8-11 against Linda Ralph there, and the pairs are in a classic match.
De Jong now on the forehand, down a number, trying to follow the line of Reema Strickland. Yeah, certainly on a wider line, but the De Jong bolt is up. That's too wide. It's not. Although the Karen de Jong bowl does have a wider line,
it's not going to get past these other bowls either too.
So if I'm looking at that now, this is a big number.
Well, there's at least 4.
There is. So Reema Strickland will play her last bowl on this, the 9th of 15, and she will endeavour to cut that centre line again on the forehand and add to the count.
Played beautiful weight with her first bowl. Here's her second. It's on a similar line to the first. Starts to break to the centre line and get back to those shot bowls now.
Hasn't got the weight though this time. No, it hasn't. I can tell you in the women's pairs, Royal Oak have now hit the front after 13 ends. 13 shots to 12. 13-12.
5 ends to go in that pairs game. They play to 18. We play to 15. The singles play to 21. First to 21 shots.
So Karen de Jong now forced to change her hand.
Pressure bowl here. Tries to cut it down.
She's endeavouring to try and get third shot. That was the indication from Ashley Jeffcoat. All I question how's the speed of this though?
It's travelling a little bit too quick.
It needs to sit on something.
Quick. That's going to be another big number. I'd say it's going to be a 4. Ashley turns out 3, 4.
5.
I think it's 4. She's turned out 4 at this stage. They'll measure for 5. Robin's keen to have a measure. Ashley not willing to give it up. Be awfully hard for the Carlton Cornwall side to come back, whether it's a 4 or a 5.
Absolutely.
Only what have we got? 6 ends to play. Carlton Cornwall at this stage have only scored just the 4, was it? Yep, just the 4. So 16 shots to 4 it is now. Royal Oak Premiers over the Carlton Cornwall Gold side. Royal Oak Premiers, we've played 9 ends, they've scored on 7, and that's how you accumulate your points in a fours game.
Yeah, they've had good scoring ends, and when the big shots have been required, they've certainly done that. We saw the end before. It was Robin Fisher who played the bowl that made the big difference, and of course 2 ends prior to that we saw Rima Strickland play that run shot, that weighted shot through on the forehand of the jack, and those are they've been able to capitalise and really cut the opportunities out for the Carlton Cornwall combination.
So Taylor's first bowl, about a metre past the head but wide. Philly Akaruru's just picked up another 1, if not 2 in the singles game. They'll measure for 2 there, so Philly starting to close that up. She's just turned the 1 away, so Philly now down 9-11 in the singles game for Royal Oak against Carlton Cornwall. And as you mentioned, Royal Oak have taken the lead in the pairs after the 13 ends there too.
So it could be, I think it's going to come, I'm sure it's going to come down to the result of that second win.
Yes, it certainly is. It's going to be between the singles and the pairs games, isn't it?
Certainly is. One of those two is going to be.
Look at this from Sandra Taylor again.
Front toucher, sits alongside it. The first Bev Crow bowl.
Put some chalk on that.
I can't even see where the first Bev Crow bowl went. Actually.
She was about a match short. And now, of course, with the jack taken away. So Bev just tightens that line up with the jack off the centre line now. This is a better bowl. It's all down to her weight. It starts to break in nicely now. So Bev's close here.
Just going to sit outside the shot bowl, but certainly second shot and about 14 inches higher the jack, right on the centre line, or literally on the line to the jack. See Mike Galloway just going past. Of course, Galloway will be playing for Auckland tomorrow, and we'll be skipping the pairs in the inter centre next week in Wellington, and a very strong Auckland men's team.
Lisa Mandel's first bowl down on the backhand side for her.
This is close to, just going to sit past, and needs to sit inside that bowl. Great effort.
Not a bad spot there though. The back bowl.
The Auckland men's team with Jamie Hill, Tony Grantham, Mike Galloway, Gary Lawson, Jordan King, Hayden Takarau, and just slipped my mind who's leading, but very, very good side. Neville Hill has picked a bowl here from
Kimberley.
Just slipped by the jack slightly.
Also, if you picked up your Friday flash yesterday, you'll see that Auckland men's team named in the Friday flash yesterday with Auckland Bowls. Bring us the live stream here today with our great partners Ryman Healthcare. So here's Lisa Mandel's second on the backhand. This looks wide too, Kevin.
Yeah, just going to go well. Just sits to touch on the Bev Crow Jack Low bowl, and it's certainly the Sandra Taylor bowl, which is shot. It's been very, very consistent. Has the lead for Royal Oak for sure. Hemingway with his second, trying to get down to sit on the Sandra Taylor bowl. Looking at this is Karen De Jong, got a wee bit of weight on it to hold it under the line. Is it going to hold under the line? Back. Just going to go by. And goes by a metre. So Rima Strickland just asking your number 3, Robin Fisher, who's played some very, very telling bowls in the mid stages of this game. On the forehand is Fisher.
Looks a touch narrow.
It's under the line. You can see that very quickly out of the hand. That it was under the line. And slipped away, went outside that of the centre line. So Ashley Jeffcoat now on her backhand. Got to start scoring now. We've got the... And this bowl's just going to slip low underneath the jack. Didn't quite have the weight to get all the way to the jack. Just needs to fall in, not fall out. Measure for shot more than likely, but...
Yeah, favour Taylor.
But I wouldn't be. Rima Strickland won't be too concerned, I wouldn't think. Just saw Kirsty Hill play a big bowl there for the Royal Oak combination. And Jack got moved.
So Rory Soden's the other.
Rory Soden, of course, runner-up in the singles here a few months ago in the Somerset Nationals. Runner-up to Mike Galloway, of course.
Robin Fisher, she's going to come in and get close to this Jeffcoat bowl. I want to turn it in.
Turns
it through.
Roll through.
Yep. So no damage done. Sandra Taylor will hold the upright shot. Just remembering that quadrangular series tomorrow with the Auckland reps out at Papatoetoe Hunters Corner. If you want to go and support the Auckland side, the juniors are out at Milford tomorrow and the women's out at Howick. So if you've got nothing to do on your Sunday, the Howard Bowling Club might not be a bad place to be tomorrow. You might be able to watch a bit of America's Cup out there too, Kevin.
Yeah, it depends, but I know the course they've picked today is a different course to the last 2 days, and who knows where they'll be. Of course, the last 2 days they've been out off Maraito, Howick, Beachlands area where they've been sailing. And now 15-12 to Royal Oak in the women's pairs.
Yeah, just waiting for an update to come through on the singles game too. It looks like Carlton Cornwall have scored on the previous end there. We'll just see what it was. It was 11-9, so Philly's just about to update the board there for us now. And Carlton Cornwall 13-9, so a 2 scored there by Linda Ralph to lead Philly Akaruru 13-9, but as you mentioned, Royal Oak taking another couple of shots there across in the pairs. They've still got 4 ends to play, and 15-12 is the score across in the pairs with Royal Oak leading. Royal Oak leading comfortably here in the 4 as well, as we see Rima Strickland's first bowl down.
Yeah. Again, it's Royal Oak who's certainly holding. And this bowler, Rima Strickland, just on the draw, going by, good arc on the bowl.
Well, at this stage, she only needs to play the board too, holding one.
She doesn't need to go near the head, to be fair, so you can leave it alone.
Doesn't need to give any shoulders to be playing off anyway. There's a chance for a 3 to be turned here for Karen de Jong. If she can move this jack about a half a mat, there's a chance of a 3. You can see him behind Kimberley's bowl, and
that's certainly not going to. You can.
It's trying very hard to come back. She'll
Won't
probably
have
get
enough weight.
she'll get the shot, but not
enough
quite.
weight to
Yeah,
move the
not
jack.
quite enough weight to get the jack back. And
Now, of course, Strickland can stay on her forehand side, turn that bowl over now, and no danger for Rima Strickland to play literally under the Robin Fisher bowl. Just get a turn. That's what she's indicating to Rima Strickland, just to get a turn on the bowl.
I've got to miss that red one to get through there. No, you should have slid mine over.
And you know, the path to the jack is just under the Fisher bowl.
yeah, there's a nice shoulder to play off that Fisher bowl too.
Absolutely, there is. And Rima Strickland will endeavour to play down on her forehand. Just needs to play just slightly over the draw weight. She got a natural turn onto that bowl.
Comes
It's
in.
on a good line. How far is it going to come back? Far enough. We're going to get
Just
the jack.
get the wall.
Oh, but there was a wonderful effort from Rima Strickland.
Great effort.
Of course, one really is not. Carlton Cornwall need to play, and I see, Ashley Jeffcoat indicating to Karen de Jong, trying to get a touch now onto the shot bowl, onto the jack. Move it back, you can make 3.
Oh, it's the only chance to make a multiple, and it's probably only going to be a 2 to draw onto that back bowl and move that jack. She's not far away.
Not far away there. She
Not
sits
far
the bowler
away.
tight, sits the bowler. No, she doesn't.
Unlucky.
Great effort.
Just the 1 to Carlton Cornwall though, so they are 5 or 16-5 down with 5 ends to play here in this 4s match. See Philly Akaruru's just playing her last bowl in the singles. Looks like she might be holding 2 there, filly, and looks like she might be bowling in for 3 to really tighten that up. She's getting very close. She might have scored a 3 there, filly, and if she has, in fact, no, there's still a couple of bowls to come. I got too excited there.
Yeah.
2 bowls to come.
Linda Ralph, of course, they're both playing with the blue bowls, both their players here, and as Aaron said, it is Royal Oak that are holding the shot.
All right, just the scores coming through from the men's semi-finals. It looks like Point Chev have got through to the final here. They've won the singles 21-7. Aidan Takaroa was in the singles there. The pairs have won 16-2. That was Kevin Morris and Alex Reid. Alex Reid leading there. And the fours, after 7 ends, they are leading 9-5 there in the fours. So, well, that's one anyway by Point Chev. They've got the 2 wins on the board. So, and Mount Albert, they have won the singles there, 21-12. In the pairs after 13 ends, so they've still got 5 ends to play there. 13-10 they lead, and they're down in the 4 after 11 ends of 15, and they're down 5-11. So that's going to go down to the wire too. Mount Albert versus Carlton Cornwall for the men's other semi-final.
So Point Chevalier, they're through to the final here in the Ryman Healthcare Auckland National Interclub Sevens.
Oh, the mighty Pirates, eh?
And they'll play the winner of Carlton Cornwall and Mount Albert as we watch this fours game. Really
another nice bowl here by Bev.
It's drawing to the end. The ends are running out. End 11. And very consistent. Sandra Taylor on her backhand.
This is starting to break in quite nicely too, Kevin. Down to the weight here. Not
Just
quite going to have the
run
weight
low
though.
under the line of the jack, a metre.
Just looking across at our singles game here too. Philly Akaruru close to getting a 4 here. Pretty sure she's got 3. It'll be a measure for 4, I'd say. Now if she gets a 4, that's all locked up at 13 all. So that'll be interesting. Just noticed Linda Ralph is, yeah, she's rolled out 3. So there'll be a measure for 4 in the singles game there, as here's Kimberly Hemingway's first bowl down in our game, and she's going to be 1.5 metres short.
Certainly is. On the backhand now is Lisa Mendel, the number 2 for Royal Oak. Looks to be
very narrow.
Under the line, look narrow all the way out of the hand.
Sure, it was just a 3 to Philly in that singles game, so that'll bring her close now. 13-12. She's down to Linda Ralph. And what are we doing over there in the pairs after 14 ends?
It's definitely Carlton Cornwall that have scored, I can tell you that. Taking 2 out, 3 out.
Oh, so that's going to get close. So 3 makes it 15 all. Very, very close in those 2 games. And that's where this women's final is going to be decided in that singles and pairs game, because this fours game is getting away from Carlton Cornwall, although they are holding, if not now, 3 shots here on end 11 of our 15 for the fours.
Well, I'd be pretty happy being the bookie.
Here's Lisa Mandel. She looks like she's narrow again, but she's going to look to try and get into these
slide,
pro bowls.
Get the slide off there in
and
front
she
of
will,
the jack, and will do, and runs all the way to the jack. Front
Love
toucher. It was just slightly narrow the line, but had that extra yard of weight, and took her bowl to sit right on top of the jack. And it's now 17-15. 17-15. It is Carlton Cornwall leading.
Well, that was a good handful then. What was that? That must have been 5.
Must have been
5.
Yeah, big number.
So Carlton Cornwall now leading in the pair with 3 ends to go. They're up by 2. They're up by 1 in the singles, with Linda Ralph dropping a 3 to Philly Akaruru. Here's the first bowl of Ashley Jeffcoat coming under the line again, and really again an ineffective bowl out there. Must say though that watching the Royal Oak team in our fours game that we're covering on the live stream here, they have played very well as a team, haven't they?
Oh, they certainly have been. It all comes about from the start you're given, and Sandra Taylor has been very, very consistent. To me, the big difference is it's about their consistency of getting back to the centre line with effective bowls. That's the big.
Yep.
That's the big crunch. If you're not going to get back to the centre line, one, you've got no show, and your weight you can control from there. But they've played some big shots.
Yeah, and that's actually not a bad covering bowl, that first bowl of Robin Fisher's, because if Ashley does get a touch on the shot bowl of Lisa Mandel's, that's where the jack's going to go. She's going to get close here, but it just slides through again.
So that bowl is right, as you said, Aaron, Robin Fisher bowl sitting right by the feet up there of Karen de Jong, and Ashley Jeffcoat is certainly in the right spot. And this certainly is going to come down to, as Aaron rightly said, between the pairs and singles, where it's in both games, it's anybody's at this point in time.
This bowl of Fisher's gets in behind. Looks like it'll be the Bacchus bowl there too. No, in fact, it's just landed by Ashley's bowl. So Ashley will have the Bacchus bowl on that side of the rink, but I can't really see the jack going that side.
No, it's good. The jack is where the bowl of the Robin Fisher bowl sits out just underneath the scoreboard. In fact, is where you would think the angle of the jack would go to. As the skips make their way back, and as we said, Point Chevalier and the men are through to the final this afternoon, and we'll be covering that men's final, men's fours final. We'll be bringing that. I think it's the men's fours final.
Yeah, around 3 o'clock we'll have that. Might be a touch earlier too, so if you're tuned into the live stream and you want to get that men's final, we might be a little bit earlier than 3 o'clock, so just keep an eye out on the Auckland Bowls website there. I know there was discussions earlier between Gerard and the team that if it was possible we might get away a wee bit earlier than 3 o'clock. So if we do, just stay with the Auckland Bowls website up there and join us for the live stream of the final there. Or Royal Oak in the final, and the other one's going down to the wire.
And certainly every indication that, yeah, we may get away earlier in that final, which is good.
Down to the hand here from Rima Strickland. On a lovely line out of the hand and starts to break in now. If she can get back to this Kimberly Hemingway
Good
bowl.
bowl. Goes back in behind the head. That's all she has to do,
Yep.
going back towards the number. That's the deepest bowl on the green, directly under the number. So the scoring options really for Carlton Cornwall are very greatly reduced. It's virtually only a 1 or 2 shot opportunity, providing that if the shot bowl is touched and the jack's moved.
She's just got to rub the Mandel bowl and get a touch on the jack here and try and bring it back to
It's on a good
Kimberly's.
line.
It is on a very good line. It's just going to cut under though,
under.
isn't it? It is, yeah. Quite a way under actually, about a metre under. So holding one, the Royal Oak side, with one to come here from Rima Strickland. So this will take them up to at least 17-5, and Rima's bowl, she's found nice green again out there. It's down to her weight. She only needed to drop a metre off her previous bowl there, Kevin, and she's not far away.
Trying to get into that centre line area, and
Great
it's
try, just
Royal
the
Oak that has scored again in the women's singles, and it's all locked up at 13 all. 13 all in the race to 21. And in the women's pairs, it is Carlton Cornwall who lead 17 shots to 15 as they play the 16th end. Jack's been delivered in this fours game, only in 12 of 15, just low of the 2 metre mark. So, Sandra Taylor,
very consistent off the front she's been.
very effective off the front is Sandra Taylor for sure. And again, this bowl going to be on a good line again, just going to sit in behind the jack, right on the centre line, half a metre behind. And you know, it's a very, very good bowl.
Yep, lovely spot there.
Very good bowl from.
Straight away, it's hard to drop a big number when you put a bowl there.
Absolutely, you're looking at a 1 to 2 shot here, unless someone plays a magic shot, so to speak.
Yep. Bev, she's going to be a little bit weighty on the first bowl here and come a good 2 metres behind the head.
And to be fair, Aaron, no disrespect at all to Bev Crow or any of the players out there, but I'll give this one a big tick to the start that Sandra Taylor has given the Royal Oaks side.
It just gives confidence right through the team, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's been on a continuous basis that Sandra Taylor, she may not have 2 bowls right on every end, but she certainly, if you take her effective percentage of bowls on the centre line and within half a metre, she's got a very, very high percentage on that basis. And that gives you such a good start. Bev Crow now with her second. And she's certainly brought her line in, try and get down to the counting area.
Too, Kevin.
Looks handy. This bowl of Crows breaks towards the jack.
Beautiful
and
bowl.
that's a front toucher, sits right on it.
Come on, Karen.
And I can tell you that the women's pairs score will tighten up again.
Yeah, looks like Kirsty's holding 2 with a bowl to play.
Might be one. I think it's a Lisa Prideaux bowl that's locked in behind the shot bowl there.
Okay.
A speckly bowl, I think, is Lisa Prideaux's.
Go back to ours. Here's Lisa Mandel's first. She comes down. She's going to draw past the head. She'll get back to Bev Crow's back bowl.
So, down measuring down that woman's
Yes.
there, so and Kirsty Hill's already put the score up. So yeah, we'll wait and see because it's all going to come down to these 2 matches.
Yes, certainly is. So see the.
And it was 1 to Carlton
Was
Cornwall.
1, so they've gone 18-15, 2 ends left to play there. And it's all square in the singles against Philly Akaruru and Linda Ralph. So Lisa Mandel, she plays her second into this end number 12 for us for the 4s. This is a good looking bowl. Starts to break into the head. We'll get a clip off the Kimberly Hemingway bowl there. It'll end up as the second shot, with Bev Crow's bowl just about a bowl low of the jack being the shot bowl there. So nice bowl, cuts it down, does Lisa Mandel.
So Kimberly Hemingway, the former Waikato and Wellington player, endeavouring to.
She found a nice line with this. It's just going to cut
increase
under.
the count. It's going to get under and sit on the Mandel bowl. Needs to sit on the Mandel.
just
That just
slide by.
goes outside it by a fraction. So now it's, as you said, rightly said before, Aaron, you know, they can, as long as Royal Oak don't put themselves in a danger spot of a 4 or a 5.
Nice little pocket here for Robin to bowl into. She can get an edge off the bowl of Lisa Mandel. She could find the shot bowl. She could find the jack. Of course, there's a Sandra Taylor bowl behind as well, and she's not far away.
Just going to
Get a slide,
through and shot.
What a bowl. Robin Fisher has been bowling magically today out of the 3 spot in this 4. As we say, you play as a team, you win as a team, and that's how you win as a team.
Well, the other good thing is that, you know, it's always when there's a slightly jack-low bowl which is running on that line back towards the jack, certainly makes it a real challenge.
Just got a curious eye across to our women's singles game here too. Philly's holding 1. She's just played her final bowl, goes behind the head. She's got a front touch-up. His second shot not too far away of Linda Ralph's
there.
there.
See Jeff Coate on the drive, goes by just on outside of the counting area.
So here's the last bowl of Robin Fisher. What a beautiful bowl she played in her first, and she's not going to be too far away here. She'd love to slide just past the head and sit Sandra Taylor's bowl, or maybe get another edge and just draw it in for maybe a second shot there. It's going to be a close measure for a second. Just looking across to the women's singles final. Last bowl of Linda Ralph coming in. She's not far away from finding her bowl, and the jack. She's got the jack. She's brought it back. She could have got 2 out of that, so we'll wait and see what the scorer says there in the singles game, but that has just changed. Now here's Ashley Jeffcoat on the drive again. Looks a bit closer this time. Oh, gets out Bev Crow's bowl. That's been their day. 3 down they are now. Well, when your luck's out, your luck's out. Unfortunately, got that Bev Crow bowl absolutely clean. You wouldn't believe that it didn't touch Robin Fisher's bowl or the jack there too. Now, just looking at the singles game here, there's a very, very close measure going on down here for 1 or 2 shots. And
the measure's out, isn't it?
Yeah, the measure's out. So they've just measured across to Philly's bowl.
And I can tell you, in the women's pairs, it is Carlton Cornwall who are holding the shot, and it was Linda Ralph who scored.
Just not too sure whether it was 1 or 2 there, so we're waiting for the score to come up, but it's definitely Linda taking the lead. It's going to be a nail biter all the way to 21 shots, isn't it?
Certainly is, and you know, it'll come down to these 2 matches will be the decider.
Right, here's Rima Strickland. She plays her first.
She doesn't need to go near the head, that's one thing for sure. Leading 17-5 and holding 3. Doesn't
going to draw nicely behind, and that's a good spot there too.
Doesn't need anything near the head. Just leave it now for Karen de Jong to try and get down and say.
In fact, no, I think in the singles, Philly Akaruru, she got the shot. So she did too. She got 1. Oh, certain that had gone the way of Linda Ralph. No, Philly Akaruru, she now leads 14-13. She scored a 1. Karen de Jong with a bit of weight.
On the drive.
It'll be narrow.
I just wonder, Aaron, whether in fact the jack actually got lost, because it's showing 14-13 there now.
Yeah, no, Philly definitely delivered the first bowl, so she was definitely the scorer. So she's up 14-13. So yes,
I thought it was around the other way on the board, but that clearly shows us now that it is Royal Oak who hold a 14-13 lead.
Also, it's the race to 2 wins to win the trophy for the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub Sevens, and it looks like they've got 1 win here with the Royal Oak Premier 4. Holding 3 here, last bowl coming down from Karen de Jong. Well, she needs to cut this down though. 3 light.
Well, it's literally shake hands time.
It will be, won't it?
Absolutely. Well,
so, not quite, but
yeah, it's
not a bad bowl here from Karen.
How long is
just
it
going to
hold up?
It's going to hold up. It's holding up. She's got it. Lovely bowl. Unlucky.
Locks it back on. 1 shot.
So it'll be 1 shot.
It's 18-5 after 12 of 15 ends.
The story of the day for Carlton Cornwall in this 4s game. They've only scored on the 3 ends thus far, Kevin, and yeah, it's very, very hard to keep yourself in the game when you're not scoring on ends.
I think in the women's pairs that it's Carlton Cornwall, I think, who just scored a 3. That was the sort of sign language that I saw, just waiting for the board to change.
If so, that'll give them a healthy margin, almost an unassailable margin.
As
with 1 end to play.
The last end.
Yes, they're playing their last end there.
So if it is a 3, and it is a 3, just see the board as it is. So it's 21-15. So the best that Royal Oak can get here
is a draw.
So it all comes down really now
to the singles
to this singles match in front of us.
Right, first bowl, Sandra Taylor's first bowl, probably the worst bowl she's played all day. 4 metres short there, but here's Bev Crow with her first.
And a good bowl by Bev Crow to open, just sits jack level. perhaps Aaron a bit of, more like concentrating from the force point of view, maybe a bit of concentration to a rink close by.
Yes.
When you're leading 18-5,
Yes.
playing in 13 of 15, and you've got 6 behind now in the pairs, and you're literally one behind. You're one in front in the pairs.
Now, Bev Crow's changed her hand to come down the backhand side, and she'll get close to her first bowl. Might be too little, too late.
Yeah, she'll sit on.
Lovely bowl though.
Sit on the shot at the other first bowl. And Lisa Mandel, who this time, very infrequently throughout this game, sees herself down on the head after the leads have played, and the Lisa Mandel bowl just going to go by. But nothing wrong with that bowl because it's sat right underneath the number on the 2 metre mark. And it is Linda Ralph who has scored in the women's pair, in the women's singles.
Yeah, I think she just picked up the single there, so that'll be 14 all.
So we see the bowler Kimberly Hemingway's just go low of the jack. And definitely Crow lead for Carlton Cornwall, who's holding the shot. In fact, they'll be holding 3 at this point in time with the Carlton Cornwall combination. Lisa Mandel on the backhand. This is sort of like the last gasp end opportunity for the Carlton Cornwall combination.
She's playing nice positive bowls here too.
Just sit on the bowls, going to sit on one for sure.
Yeah,
That's all
lovely
she needs
bowl.
to do, really.
Oh, just falls out. So
Third shot.
it is the third shot. And in fact, no. Linda Ralph scored a 3 there, Kevin. So she's now 16-14 in front. And she's bowled a beauty in her first bowl on the next end too.
Literally a toucher.
Back toucher too. Here's Kimberly's second bowl.
And that'll count. Couple, 3. They need 3 on literally. Well, that wouldn't be enough either. They need literally 4 on every end, really.
So we can tell you Mount Albert have now taken out the pairs 17-11. So Mount Albert will play point Chev in the men's final. After 16 ends, sorry. So, of course, they play 18 ends. Get ahead of myself there.
So well played there by Robin Fisher. Is more than likely drawn second shot, I would say.
So we can tell the viewers at home, Kevin, that Mount Albert, 2 ends to go in the pairs. They lead 17-11. In the fours, Carlton Cornwall lead 12-6 after 13 ends. So it looks like Carlton Cornwall will get the 4. Mount Albert's already taken the singles, so that's going to come down to that pairs game. Here's Ashley's first bowl, and she's run into that short bowl of Sandra Taylor's.
So we see now Robin Fisher on the back end, more than likely drew second shot. And trying to reach up to what the Bev Crow bowls on a good line now, just breaks down towards the head in the counting area. Is it going to get to the jack neat? No, it's going to just drop under it, slightly short, only just short. So Ashley Jeffcoat now on the back end, endeavouring to add to the count for the...
A much better green here, Ashley.
Certainly has. Just question, how's the weight?
It's just starting to, as this weather starts to warm up, moving into mid-afternoon here, that backhand side that Ashley's just played there, it's got a much wider arc on it now. And
I can tell you that Carlton Cornwall have won the women's pairs. Lisa Bordeaux and Karen Hema have won their pairs game against the Kirsty Hill, Jackie Broderston match. So it all comes down now to the Linda Ralph match against Philly Akarup. It's Linda Ralph who is leading 16-14 and who is holding on the head at this stage, holding 2 shots. As we watch her last bowl break towards the head, just goes in behind. So big bowl here for Philly Akarai as the skips now make their way back here in the 4s, and we'll just tell you how this bowl transpires. Looking sort of played with weight with her 3rd bowl, trying to reach down on the back end, down at least a couple. Is Philly. How far under the line is it? Looks to be under the line, all right. That will be 2 to Linda Rolfe, I would say.
Yeah, it'll be a measure for 3. Billy's got a bowl just to the right of the jack as we see it there. It's definitely 2. Linda's having a good look. Yeah, she is. She can have a very good look to see if it's 3. It's just the 2 though. Just the 2. Right, here's Karen de Jong, her first delivery down for this, what are we up to, our 13th end of the 4s, and lovely line here for Karen.
Holding the shot, of course, is the Bev Crow bowl, trying to get to sit on the Robin Fisher bowl. Trying to make a count out of that. In fact, the weight was played, it might be that certainly looks like the Bev Crow bowl, which is shot down and behind the jack.
It's definitely the Crow bowl, and that'll be the bowl that Rima's looking to get onto here. She comes down to her backhand side. She's played with good reaching weight. Just needs to hold up. As we've said, just as the afternoon's gone on, this backhand side, as we look at it, it gets that lovely slide to try and get into the head there too. It'll come up about a metre short, so they'll still be 2 light, at least 2 lights.
18-14 now, Linda Rolfe leading, 18-14.
So getting close to match point there. Oh, she can win it in one end, of course. So here comes Karen de Jong.
Trying to get to the jack area.
Yeah, again, this is going to swing.
Needs a bit of luck on the slide.
Yeah, that side of the rink has really taken on a different demeanour in the last hour or so.
If you look at there as well, there's a bit of wind that has just come in. The wind's changed around a bit now. There's a slight breeze running in an easterly just on that backhand side. But that'll be 1 to the, or 2 perhaps to the.
Yeah, we'll just wait for that scoreboard to be updated.
Update that, and we'll tell you. We can tell you that the pairs, in the women's pairs, is definitely Carlton Cornwall that have won that semi-final encounter, and Linda Rolfe in the race to 21 is leading 18 shots to 14.
Just can't quite see our scoreboard. There it is, in fact, in behind. So it was just the 1 there, Kevin. So they moved to 6 to Carlton Cornwall. And
this is the last end if they...
Yep.
And there's a big number scored.
Need the big number, 12 behind, 2 to play. Nice opener here, though, by Bev Crow. She'll land just jack low. Sandra Taylor.
Been very consistent throughout this match is Taylor. As we watch the bowl now break down towards the head. Another good bowl from...
cracking bowl.
Sits right on the centre line, lower the jack certainly, but it's certainly in a good spot. And of course the big thing in here is that it's about not dropping a number. As we watch Bev Crow now on that wider line. And it's going to go all the way by. In fact, we'll travel to the ditch.
Hard to score a big number when one's sitting on the bank.
So Taylor changing her hand to the backhand side.
She needs to be up to the head. In fact, it might be just going to cover that one in the ditch. And it will.
I can tell you in the women's singles, it is Linda Rolfe who is holding the shot in the women's pairs. Singles, leading 18-14 in the race to 21 as we see Kimberly Hemingway on that backhand trying to get down to that Crow, inside the Crow bowl to sit on it, just misses the touch on it, and we'll go quite a way back towards the deep portion end of the green.
Yeah, it's sitting about a mat off the back there. We just don't have that in our picture shot, but it's about a mat off the ditch. Here's Lisa Mandel delivering her first. Watching at that singles game. It's like Linda Ralph might be holding a shot across there.
And Mandel is going to go by that wide side with the Bev Crow bowl holding shot, with Royal Oak leading 18-6. And remembering, of course, that Royal Oak got defeated in the women's pairs. That was Kirsty Hill got defeated by Karen Hema of Carlton Cornwall. And in the women's singles, which will be the all-decider, it is Linda Ralph from Carlton Cornwall who is leading in that Philly Akarua by 18 shots to 14 in the race to 21. And the men's final this afternoon, I can confirm, will be Point Chevalier.
And it'll come down to the pairs in the Mount Albert Carlton game as to who does get into the final to take on the Pirates there, as we saw a lovely bowl come in from Kimberly Hemingway to hold the shot here in our second to last end of the women's fours, as Lisa Mandel delivers on her backhand side.
Well, they need to lead it. They need a 6, 7.
Yeah, 6, 7. Well, they really need a big number. And
they certainly do.
Lisa's going to come back and sit close to the ditch here, so she'll now have the Bacchus bowl there with Lisa Mandel. It stayed up on the green. So Ashley Jeffcoat, she'll have to try and get close to the Hemingway bowl here to try and get in the count and try and get this big number, but she's going to be wide here, Kevin.
Certainly is. And let's see, Philly Akarua in that particular last bowl of hers on the drive, so that obviously determines that it is Linda Ralph that is holding at least one and leading 18 shots to 14. So it looks as though another score this end to the Carlton Cornwall singles player. And it is.
So Robin Fisher's first. She's been playing some wonderful bowls, and here's another good one. It's not going to be too far away. It'll just slide past.
Trying to get that jack trail. And they're quite, reality is they're quite safe. Certainly Kimberly Hemingway's got the shot, and there's a bit of crow bowl sitting jack level as well. And lower the jack is the lead bowl of Sandra Taylor, and that's 20 all but now.
Yeah, 20. So it was a 2 there for Linda Ralph, so she's one away from game there, and Ashley Jeffcoat's bowl comes behind the head. So this game is just about all over, because I can't see, when you look at the head that we're looking at right now, as Robin Fisher bowls her last, where they're going to get this 5, 6. Well, they need a 6. She's well short here as Robin Fisher through the line, but
there's no big number there.
There is no big number there, so I'm pretty sure Rima Strickland will walk back to the mat full of confidence here. They're not going to drop that big number that they'd need to drop to take us to a 15th end here for the women's fours. So it is going to come down to the singles game, where Linda Ralph leads now by 6 shots over Philly Akaruru.
One shot, of course, to go out. The ends don't matter in that of the singles.
And of course, as we get close to the end of our broadcast here, a big thanks to Ryman Healthcare for allowing us to bring you the live stream with Auckland Bowls of our National Interclub Sevens today. Of course, we'll be back with the men's final. It was scheduled to get underway at about 3 o'clock, as we see that first bowl coming down of Karen de Jongs, and that's going to end up just behind the head here as well. Big thanks to Tamara and also JC for helping us out and getting everything set up, and they'll set up for the men's final as well. Just note too, they did have a 3 o'clock start time for that men's final. We may be a touch earlier than that, so just keep an eye on the live stream there on the Auckland Bowls website as this bowl comes down now from Rima Strickland. She's not too far away.
Tamara does a wonderful job, done a great job right throughout the whole year. We've covered events from Central Otago all around the countryside, and of course next week we'll be in Wellington. And in the centre finals, we've covered a number of events this year with a lot more to go yet. And Tamara and the team do a wonderful job to be able to bring this coverage.
There they do. Now Karen de Jong has drawn in for, well, looks like a second shot. It may not have rolled in for a second. I don't think it is. So let's see. They're not going to drop the big number that they needed to drop here. Is Rima Strickland to play her last, and I'd say this is the last bowl of the fours side of this National Interclub Sevens Auckland Women's Final for Division 1. It's Rima Strickland here. It comes in.
Shake hands time for
It
sure.
is shake hands time, but how close is she going to get?
Score won't
Not too
matter
far
here,
away.
really, because the win has been recorded by Royal Oak.
So 2 kicked away. Looks like it'll be 2. It is shake hands time, so
1-1.
it'll be 1-1, and we're down to the singles. We might just stay on the broadcast here too. We might be able to get our camera to shoot across to this singles final. We can get it across now. The Mount Albert team, they have gone through to the final with the pairs win of 2011. So they won the singles 21-12. They won the pairs 2011 and lost the fours 6-13. So it will be a Point Chevalier Mount Albert final in the men's National Interclub Sevens Division 1 final.
So just now Linda Ralph on the mat, leading 20 shots to 14.
There we go. Look at that,
And
Tamara JC. They know how to get these cameras set up for us, Kevin.
And looks to be holding shot at jack level.
Yeah, she is holding shot.
And that, of course, is match. And the opportunity now, last bowl.
So as we look at it, the bowl on the left-hand side of the jack there is the shot bowl, and the one directly behind that is one of Filiakaruru. So if Philly could get a roll on the jack here, she'll turn this into 2. But this is it. You'll see the bowl come into picture shot shortly.
Needs to get a slide, that's for sure.
She's not going to get it. She's not going to get it.
And that'll
be Carlton Cornwall.
And we can confirm now that it will be Carlton Cornwall through to the final. For sure.
Well, they win the final.
They win the final.
They win the final.
By 2-1 after defeating Royal Oak in the women's pairs, that being Karen Hema and Lisa Bordeaux, and in a very, very tight encounter, Linda Ralph running out the winner, and she had to come from behind, really. It was because midway through that game, Filiakaruru, of course, had not control but got into the front, but Linda Ralph, very, very well performed singles player and for Auckland and around the country as well. So ran out the winner, and in the fours we saw Royal Oak win convincingly. That's the Rima Strickland skip side, win convincingly. So that gives Carlton Cornwall another. So that gives Carlton Cornwall women another Interclub title. So they've got a few, and of course we'll be back this afternoon. I'm picking at around 2:45.
Yeah, the men's have just finished with Mount Albert's game, so yeah, give them a half an hour break. So I'll check online with the Auckland Bowls website. We'll hopefully be back at around 2:45. The official start time was 3, but just check back at 2:45, and hopefully we'll be back to bring you the final there of the Pirates against Mount Albert for the men's side of the Ryman Healthcare National Interclub Sevens, Auckland Division 1.
But you got to be tough when you do your stuff.
What's the name, Kevin?
Well, they were lucky to get out of there, Carlton.
Yes, crikey. Never seen such big smiles with the fours. Team losing 18.